Stop everything. Something just detonated inside SoFi Stadium, and it has the entire NFL doing a double take. Because out of nowhere, the Chargers might be getting back the one rookie who flipped defenses inside out before he disappeared. 314 rushing yards in just 5 games, and now the whispers are turning into alarms. A return is close. Justin Herbert's blind side could look completely different overnight. And a quiet chess match with Buffalo just cracked open. But before we dive deeper, if you love seeing the Chargers shock the league, make sure you hit subscribe, drop a like, and smash that bell icon so you never miss breaking updates. Your support keeps these deep dives coming. Now let's get into the fire. A single TikTok post just sent the entire Bolt fanbase into chaos. No words, just a clip. A Raiders linebacker getting absolutely folded, and a caption that simply said, "Soon." And the timing? 1 week before the Chargers take on Las Vegas after the bye. There is no universe where that's an accident. The rookie everyone's been whispering about for months finally breaks his silence, Omaran Hampton. And his return isn't just exciting, it's a complete shift in the Chargers' playoff math. Before his ankle shut everything down, Hampton wasn't playing like a rookie. He was playing like a nightmare. 314 rushing yards. 2 touchdowns. 20 catches for 136 more. Explosive, violent yards after contact, yards he created even when the offensive line gave him nothing. He wasn't a piece of the offense. He was the spark that made everything dangerous. Since he went down, it's been chaos. Najee Harris gone in week 3. Hampton out in week 5. Kamani Vidal flashing 1 week, disappearing the next. And behind Vidal, a whole lot of uncertainty. But that silence just ended. And if Hampton is truly on his way back, this offense is about to look like something entirely different. Stay with me, the next part only gets crazier, the numbers don't lie, and they paint a brutal picture. Despite ranking 12th in total rushing yards, the Chargers sit at the absolute bottom of the league in advanced run-blocking metrics. That mismatch tells you everything. The running backs have been fighting for yards the line simply isn't creating. And now, all eyes shift to one name. Multiple insiders believe Omaran Hampton's 21-day practice window is about to open right after the bye. One team source even said he's been restless, waiting for the green light. Combine that with the TikTok post, the timing, and the Raiders reference, and it's impossible not to see Week 13 glowing in the background. But here's where the plot twists. Analysts are quietly cautioning that Hampton might not be unleashed right away. Not because of his ankle, but because of who he'll be running behind. The offensive line is still banged up, inconsistent, and struggling to create clean lanes. That means the coaches may ease him in, even if he looks ready to explode. Still, even a controlled return adds something the Chargers have been starving for: balance. Harbaugh's offense is built on rhythm, run pressure, play-action threats, forcing defenses to step downhill. In recent weeks, that rhythm has disappeared, and the passing game has felt the strain. Hampton's power and burst could be the spark that resets everything, if he avoids setbacks in practice. A Week 13 return against the Raiders isn't just possible anymore, it's the expectation in the building. But the backfield isn't the only place where things are shifting. Behind closed doors, another situation is heating up, one that directly affects Justin Herbert's protection. The offensive line has been a roller coaster. The trade deadline came and went, and the team found nothing in free agency. No reinforcements on waivers either. So the coaching staff has started whispering about one bold solution. A position switch. A single name that keeps coming up in meetings. A gamble that could save the season, or turn into the mistake everyone remembers. Stay with me, the next part is where the real shock hits. The Chargers are running out of options, but there's one bold move that's been staring them in the face all season. It doesn't involve a trade. It doesn't involve a free agent miracle. It's a player already wearing the uniform, a name fans have been shouting for weeks: Jamaree Salyer. And the truth is simple, this decision could either stabilize Justin Herbert's season, or send it straight off a cliff. Salyer, a 6th-round pick back in 2022, has quietly become one of the most reliable pieces on this roster. 30-plus starts. Tons of battle reps, and before the NFL, he spent his college career anchoring the left side, the very spot Herbert needs protected the most. Recently, one major reporter finally said out loud what fans have been begging the team to consider: move Salyer to left tackle. Yes, the Chargers would sacrifice some quickness in the run game. But what they gain might be far more important: stability in pass protection, something this offense is starving for. The urgency is impossible to ignore. Herbert has already been pressured 182 times this season. That's an alarming number for any quarterback, let alone one who's limped to the sideline in back-to-back weeks. The Trevor Penning experiment hasn't worked. The line has shuffled, reshuffled, and still hasn't found answers. And now comes the question that hasn't been asked loudly enough: with Omaran Hampton nearing his return, does a slight imbalance in the run game really matter if it means your quarterback finally gets time to breathe? Because the reality is harsh: if Penning comes out of the bye and struggles again, the Chargers won't have the luxury of debating. They'll have to make the switch. Analysts have pointed out that Salyer's most dependable NFL football came when he lined up at left tackle. And right now, dependable is exactly what this team needs. Not perfect. Not flashy. Just someone who keeps Herbert upright long enough to make plays. This isn't about schematics anymore. It's about survival. Herbert is the franchise, and protecting him has to be priority number one. Stay with me: what comes next might be the turning point of the entire Chargers season. While the Chargers wrestle with tough choices inside the building, there's a completely different battle brewing outside of it, a battle that could reshape their entire offseason. A division rival, a cap space showdown, and one free agent center who could flip the future of this team. It all begins with a brutal truth: the Chargers' interior offensive line has been a disaster. Bradley Bozeman currently sits at the bottom of league rankings, and every attempt to patch the problem, from Andre James to Makey Becton to Austin DeCoulis, has fallen apart almost instantly. But as the off-season horizon gets clearer, a solution is starting to rise above the noise: a starting center from Buffalo. A player with top-tier pass-blocking numbers. A veteran who's about to hit the open market. Connor McGovern. He's ranked inside the top 12 at his position and 9th in pass protection, something the Chargers desperately need if they want Justin Herbert operating like the superstar he is. And what makes this interesting isn't just his talent, it's the timing. McGovern is finishing a 3-year deal worth $22 million. His next contract is expected to land somewhere around $14 to $16 million per year, a big number, but not unreachable. Especially when you look at the financial landscape. Buffalo is projected to have less than $9 million in cap space. Bringing back a high-level center at market price? Almost impossible. The Chargers, meanwhile, are staring at a financial runway of over $110 million in projected cap space. That gap alone turns this into a real opportunity, not just a rumor. If Los Angeles wants to reset the offensive line, this is the move that makes sense. Bozeman could be let go with barely over $1 million in dead cap, instantly freeing the path for a massive upgrade. This isn't a minor tweak. This would be a shift in identity, finally giving Herbert clean pockets and giving the run game the interior strength it hasn't seen in years. The truth is simple: nearly every attempt to reinforce the offensive line these past 2 seasons has come up short. McGovern represents something the Chargers haven't had in a long time: a chance to build from a position of strength instead of desperation. Stay with me, because the next storyline could decide whether this rebuild turns into a resurgence, or another reset. He's steady. He's reliable. And he's headed into a free agent market where the Chargers suddenly hold more leverage than almost anyone. Connor McGovern isn't just another name on a list, he's a legitimate solution to a problem that has held this offense back for far too long. But the calm ends here, because the next twist changes everything. While Los Angeles starts mapping out its off-season strategy, a division rival quietly freed up space of their own, and insiders believe they're targeting the exact same player. At the same time, an internal decision looms over Week 13, where choosing the wrong starting tackle could undo all the momentum the Chargers are trying to build. These final pieces are setting up the moment that decides the entire direction of the franchise. 3 stories. 3 pressure points. 1 massive voltage spike. Omaran Hampton looks ready to supercharge the run game the moment he's activated. Jamari Salyer could end up being the unexpected shield that finally protects Herbert's blind side. And Connor McGovern represents the kind of cornerstone upgrade this offensive line has been missing for years. If these 3 moves hit, the AFC West stops being predictable. Kansas City feels the heat. Denver loses its illusion of momentum. And Las Vegas stays stuck where they always end up, chasing shadows. Hampton brings the burst and toughness Harbaugh needs to unlock the offense. Salyer may not offer the flashiest athletic profile, but he brings stability in the area that matters most, keeping Herbert upright. And McGovern, if Los Angeles lands him, transforms the weakest part of the line into a strength. The blueprint is there. The opportunity is real. But none of it is guaranteed. Hampton's practice window hasn't officially opened yet. Any hiccup in his recovery sends the entire backfield plan crashing down. McGovern's availability isn't locked in either. Buffalo could reshape their cap or another contender could swoop in with a monster offer. Everything is building toward a crossroads.